There is nothing more satisfying than seeing a corrupt and evil police officer being held accountable. Today we will go through cases where these dirty cops got a dose of quick karma and were left completely humiliated.
If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over. So you might as well get the out of the way.
With unlimited authority comes a plethora of attitude. And today we'll be going through some shocking cases of some corrupt police officers who thought they were untouchable and can get away with anything. However, their actions caught up with them and they were held accountable in the most unexpected ways.
Go take your hand out of your pocket. Okay?
No, sir, I haven't done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing, no.
Hey, seriously.
Put your gun down, really?
Officer Brianna Strauss thought she could get everything out in the public. She posted a hilarious and demeaning TikTok that had her in a lot of hot water.
I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't. You can't do that. So get the out of the way. I say to everyone out there, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm probably speaking for a large majority of other officers out there. If we're driving on the freeway in our police car, get the out of the way. Get the out of the way. Us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over. So you might as well get the out of the way. If you merge and we follow behind you and we merge too, you're probably in trouble. The best way to find that out is get the out of the way.
This took the internet by storm, and Strauss was immediately held accountable. The police department released a statement condemning her actions, and she was also suspended for 10 hours without pay. Now, while this cop apologized later, the actions of this tyrant were completely unforgivable.
All right? So the you think you are worried about what I'm doing?
On May 18th, 2020, Officer Matthew Spina pulled over a car that was driving 60 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. What should have been a normal traffic stop turned into something totally bizarre.
Hey, could I just ask you why you're riding their butt like that and speeding, man?
I'm running his license plate because everybody else is speeding. Why are you speeding?
I was only going 60.
Speed limit's 40.
50.
The signs.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Do
All
yourself
right.
a favor. Oh, give me the toe.
No, I have a...
Yeah.
I have a card.
Step out.
I have a card.
Step out.
All right, stop, man.
You want to go in your mouth? No problem. You came to the right guy. Step out.
All right, stop.
Come on.
The driver, Kevin, tried to talk calmly to the officer, but he was caught up in a moment of rage and was about to dump his frustration on this poor driver.
Hands, please. Hands back. Anything sharp?
No, sir.
Where's the mirror?
I have it in my car, but I have a card.
See, the blue car
Yeah, which one?
was tailing me.
Yeah.
While I was pacing a tractor trailer looking for a motor vehicle violation because the
Okay.
governor's office has gotten multiple complaints
Yeah.
on traffic stops.
I know.
Okay?
I know that.
So we're out doing our thing.
Okay.
He decides to pass me and off.
All right, Speedy, I'm sorry.
All right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So the fuck you are worried about what I'm doing.
You're right.
I know I'm right, goddammit.
Officer Spina showed no interest in de-escalating the situation and only made matters worse with his actions.
Everyone's got something to say. Mind your own goddamn business. You're speeding. How about I start with that? No shit. I was following that kid for a reason. And if you had a stupid stunt, I'd be with him right now. But no, you just couldn't leave it alone, could you? You had to be a American. God help you if there's anything illegal in this car. Is it in the original dispensary container? Is it in the original dispensary container? No. Then you're How's that sound? No Mind your own business next time. Yeah, it's called shut the up.
Just when you think the officer had lashed out, things were about to get even worse as he did the unthinkable.
I was driving along, I was gonna head to a simple citation that I give, but no! You gotta be, just couldn't fuck your mouth. Where you going anyway? Where do you work? Where?
It's called American Pulp.
What's that?
It's
Paper?
yeah, you know, like the liquor bottles and stuff that the comes in, like the trays. I promise you, I own a car. Honest to goodness. And it's all right here in my glove box right here.
You ever heard of what a heat seeker is? A heat seeker is something that draws attention to itself. Heat-seeking missiles, they go for the heat. Shit, did I tell you to move? Why am I speeding? I'm doing my job. Connecticut General Statute 14-298 allows law enforcement officers to disregard the traffic laws in the performance of their duties. How the catch a speeder if I'm not speeding? You late for your job at NASA with physics?
It seemed like Officer Spina was venting the frustrations of his 14-year police career on a driver whose only offense was speeding.
Where do you want this doesn't get trashed? I can tell. I don't want to get ruined. Unbelievable. You just never in this fucking job. I got 14 months. I can't wait to be done. This ought to tell you why our department, instead of having 1,300, has 850 right now. Clue to the public. What a bunch of assholes you are. Right there. You want it on paper or not? Is it in the original dispensary container? Nope.
Kevin, overwhelmed by the officer's intense anger, chose not to speak up. In the end, Officer Spina left the scene without issuing a ticket or even a warning.
Turn around. Everything across you that visual this will be on your way. Don't you ever me again.
Hey, can you be safe?
Spina's behavior was terrifying to say the least, and the Waterbury Police Department also took notice of this and ended up suspending him from the job, where he then ultimately resigned. Now, moving on, this corrupt officer was too high on power and thought he could do anything that he wished.
Go take your hand out of your pocket. Okay?
No, sir, I haven't done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing. No.
Hey, seriously.
Put your gun down, really?
On July 29, 2015, a resident, Don McComas, was outside of his home when he noticed a police cruiser circling around his residence. That is when he began filming the officer, unaware of what was about to unfold.
He's now calling in my license plate number of my excursion. He thinks he's being funny now.
Officer David Rodriguez, however, didn't find the recording funny, and as he got out of his car, he did the unthinkable.
All right, go take your hand out of your pocket. Okay?
No, sir, I haven't done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing. No.
Hey, seriously.
Put your gun down, really?
Everton. Start me another one.
This one's really got a gun on me. No. You don't touch me. You don't touch me.
I'm at that address. Start me another unit.
You don't touch me.
Hey, man.
No, you don't touch me.
When I tell you to take your hand out,
I've done nothing.
okay?
Nope.
You need to relax.
You go away.
Okay. I don't go away. I stay where I am. You can go in your house if you want, or you can stay out here. But you don't keep your hand in your pocket. Okay?
My hand can be in my pocket. There's nothing in there.
This sick police officer made the worst decision, as he probably has no clue about filming laws. He still believes that he cannot be filmed, as he keeps making these actions worse.
I've done nothing. What have I done?
I'm telling you.
Answer me. What have I done? Why'd you get out of your vehicle?
You're taking a picture of me. I'm taking a picture of you.
You take a picture and leave.
Okay. I don't have to leave.
Neither do I.
So, I told you to take your hand out of your pocket. I just want to make sure you don't have a weapon.
You know I don't have a weapon on me.
Okay. I don't know that.
You do that. I'm completely
Well,
clear.
now.
Wrong. You have your gun out because you're a police officer. You're trying to intimidate me, and this is going all over YouTube.
Put it on you.
This is horrible. Trust me, I will.
Okay.
You guys have done enough to my family.
Okay. I don't even know who you are.
That's why you just happen to slowly approach my house, stop in front of my house,
I don't even know
and then
who
keep
you are.
going. So that was just random. That was just random?
McComas, overwhelmed by the officer's behavior, continued filming, but grew increasingly fearful for his safety, as the tyrant officer still had his gun out and was following him.
You didn't stop at
What's
anyone's
wrong
house.
with you, man?
You didn't stop at anybody's house but mine.
What's wrong with you?
Your station is corrupt.
Oh, okay. Are you some kind of a constitutionalist,
No, sir.
crazy guy or something like that? Is that your
Is that what you're going after? Is that where you're going? Are you throwing claims around?
I'm asking you.
Are you throwing these around?
What's that?
Are you throwing labels around?
Why are you doing this?
Why are you sitting here with your gun out at me? This is why I'm doing this, to protect myself from you.
Okay. All right. Well, you just stay right in front of me, and then we'll be all fine. Okay?
Am I being detained? Have I been accused? Are you accusing me of a crime? Are you suspecting me of a crime?
If I did, I would arrest you. Okay?
Well, Officer Rodriguez believes it's crazy to follow the Constitution. Shortly after, he departed the scene.
Go ahead and have a nice day. Put it on YouTube. I don't really care.
I will, sir.
Okay.
Getting my stuff from my car.
Okay.
Mr. McComas ended up filing a complaint with the department, and after an internal investigation, they claimed that the officer's actions were justified. He then filed a civil rights lawsuit, and the court ruled that the officer's actions were illegal, removing his qualified immunity. The officer retired shortly after, as he realized he is not above the law. Well, if this cop was corrupt, you won't believe what this next tyrant did.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. I'm dude.
What have I
Get
done
on the
wrong?
ground, James.
What have I done wrong?
On September 14th, 2023, cops were dispatched to a location after some residents called in for an uncontrolled fire in the area. However, instead of focusing on the fire, the officer directed his anger at a man calmly riding his bicycle.
What's up, my man? Come here. Come here. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, put the bike down. Put the bike down.
Why? It's my bike.
Because I told you to put the bike down.
Why are you stopping me right now?
Because you're riding your bike with no light
I'm
on.
riding it. I got
Put the bike down.
right here.
Dude,
My
put the
light was
bike
right
down.
here. I said no. Fuck
Put
that.
the bike down,
Call your
James.
supervisor.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Call your
Turn
supervisor.
around. Put your hands behind your
I've done
back.
nothing wrong.
I'm
What
gonna
have I done
tase
wrong?
you, dude.
What have I
Get
done
on the
wrong?
ground, James.
What have I done wrong?
562 King. Get on the
What have I done
ground.
wrong? I've not done nothing wrong.
Get on the ground, James.
I've done nothing wrong. Am I being detained?
Get on the ground, James.
Detained.
Put
Am
me
I
at
being
a
detained?
subject stop.
Am I being
425
detained?
Willow, white male.
Help!
Get on the ground, James. You are being detained, you Get on the ground.
I'm on the ground.
I'm gonna tase you, dude. Get on the
Hey, I got a
ground.
light.
Put the flashlight down.
The man kneeling was James Gresham, who had no idea why he was being treated this way despite not committing any crime. The officer's behavior was about to escalate even further.
Put the flashlight down.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
For what?
Put your hands behind your back.
For what?
Put your hands behind your
What am I
back.
being detained for?
For listening,
Why am I
drop
being
that
detained? That's
flashlight.
not an
Drop
articulable-
that
That's
flashlight.
not an articulable reason for suspicion that I committed the crime.
Yeah, it is. You
It
took
is
off.
not.
Yes, it
It is
is.
not.
Yeah, it is,
No, it is
James.
not.
You
Call
still
your
out.
supervisor.
You still
Call your supervisor.
relax.
No, I'm not relaxing. Call your supervisor. I want you to call your supervisor.
I am the supervisor. Shut
First
up.
Amendment audit.
Yeah, try the Fifth
First
Amendment. Shut
First
up.
Amendment audit. You have no reason to stop me right now.
Yeah.
None.
You're riding your bike with no lights on.
Right there in my hand.
It's got to be on the
It was
fucking
on
bike.
the bike. It was on the bike. I just took it off.
No, I just watched you right away
You didn't
when I
write-
rolled up.
You didn't tell me to stop. There was no stop. I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I told you to stop
I did
right here.
Nothing wrong.
It was later revealed that the fire was because of a bonfire that was being carried out in the neighborhood. But now the officer started to violate James's rights as he was being arrested illegally.
Speak to your supervisor now. This ain't happening.
Yeah. You still on court conditions, James?
I want you to know I'm not.
No.
I have any court conditions. None. Not committed a crime. You have no reason to stop.
Yeah,
me.
I did. When I told you to stop.
I'd like to stop to your.
Yeah.
I stopped when you told
Yeah,
me.
if you're arguing with me,
I'm gonna argue.
and
with
I had to
you.
pull my taser
You have
out.
no reason to stop me.
Yes, I do.
None. What?
Yeah.
Not committed a crime. No misdemeanor. No felony.
Yeah, James, it's called riding a bike without a
I
headlamp.
got a headlight right there.
It's not on the bike,
I was
James.
visiting a friend. Hey, I'm not on a bike. I'm in a parking lot, private property. What are you doing here?
You got any dope on you, James?
No, I don't. Now what? I want your supervisor.
Stand up.
I want your
Stand
supervisor.
up.
I'm gonna stand up.
When the officer had nothing else to frame him with, he claimed that he arrested him for riding a bike without a headlight. He then proceeded to illegally search him.
I don't know. I got a lot of shit in my pockets. Been working on cars all day.
You got a knife
it out.
on you?
Yeah. I know this. I'm being detained for no reason. I want to talk to your supervisor. I want to see your supervisor.
What supervisor, James? You
I
think
want
we're at
your
your beck and
supervisor.
call? You
I-
did?
Yes.
No.
First Amendment
No.
audit right now.
Go.
Yeah. First Amendment audit. You have no reason to stop me right now. You're in
Yeah.
violation of my First Amendment right. And my Fifth. And my Fourth. And my Ninth.
Put your feet apart, James. I just fucking told you,
No.
dumbass.
Private property. I'm right here in my house. I live right there.
The officer's attitude was disturbing as he continued to abuse the man. Meanwhile, the officers tried to find any justification for the arrest.
You're going to jail, dude.
What?
What's that for arguing?
What?
I'm asking you some basic information.
My name's James Gresham. You know my name.
I asked you what your date of birth was.
I don't have to answer your questions. Then.
Yes, you do.
Well, I guess I do, huh?
Yes.
Because I'm being detained,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
52069. And this is an illegal stop.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Or your supervisor. I want to see your supervisor. Sir.
James, you know how many times
you have no right. I'm on
you know how
public
many
property.
times you've been in the
Public property. I'm not
Okay.
not
I think that maybe you just answer a couple quick questions, but when you're rolling up here and then coming back,
You told me
Like-
to come back, so I came back.
yeah, and then I'm telling you to drop the bike, you're not dropping the bike,
My
and then
bike.
you push it, you're
I told you
trying
my
to
bike. And I
tense
had
up
my
on
flag
me.
in my hand. I didn't do nothing on you.
Yes, you did.
That's why you were stopping me.
Yes,
I
you
saw you
did.
pull up here. That's why I turned around to come back.
All right.
I knew you were going to come.
The officer's ego was crushed as he couldn't answer the questions that James was raising. Just watch how he proves himself to be a huge idiot by constantly lying about it all.
It's the right place to stop me unreasonable.
The First Amendment.
Articulable, reasonable suspicion.
All right.
ARS.
Yeah, sit tight, dude.
Sit tight. Shut up.
ARS.
Just taken for obstructing. So what? He's back behind this thing. I roll up. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, dude? Come here. Thinking that he was trying to hide back here. Now it sounds like he lives here, but as soon as he does, it's like, put the bike down. And he starts going, coming at me, and he's like tensing up, dude. So I'm like, oh, crazy, dude. Get my taser out. And then he's like, not getting on the ground, not getting on the ground. And he's just bitching.
We heard you. Do you want me to verify with 18 if he does something?
Sure, yeah.
It is saddening to see law enforcement officers behave like thugs in public. They would do everything to satisfy their egos, and what they did with James demands a huge lawsuit.
And now,
I don't need to see no
and
cop.
maybe it would be more plausible if you did live there, but now we can't. Now we can't even verify that you live there.
Well, why don't we call Sharon then, Val?
Okay.
Why don't we call Sharon, the person who lives there?
Does Sharon live there?
Yes, she sure does.
So how are you
Phone
gonna
number?
how are you gonna get in there?
What do you mean?
How are you gonna get in the
Came
house?
home. Usually she's home at night. I don't have to answer these questions. I'm not doing nothing wrong.
All right, don't answer the questions. Then.
Listen,
I don't
listen,
care.
Carl. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm on private property. You're harassing me. You're
I'm not
illegally
harassing you.
detaining me right now. I'd like to see a supervisor, sir.
That doesn't change how we go about this.
I've
Yeah.
had to study for my law for this bullshit that I've been going through. Good.
Space War
I'm
games.
gonna shoot that. Yeah, fine with you. I didn't do nothing wrong.
You don't listen.
I do listen. I came right to you when you pulled up.
Eventually, the officers did the unthinkable and ended up taking him to the police station claiming an entirely bogus charge.
You don't remember it?
What?
Those whole box was on the seat of my car, remember?
No, I don't.
Oh.
All right, come on back here. We'll get it.
Sure. There you go.
What's on your shoe, James?
What's that? What's up, brother? What's up?
Duct tape.
Yeah.
All right, have a seat.
Mistake. You made a mistake, bud.
I think so.
Does he ever stay here?
He does visit this lady quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't
Do you know
know.
anything about that duffel bag? Does that mean anything to you?
No.
Is that recording?
I'm not sure if that one is. I know hers is.
Now, moving on, these cops thought that they could intimidate this auditor, but they had no clue they would be the ones getting humbled instead.
Your name and badge number?
You want to record it with your phone?
No, why don't you just say it? Because I know that's your policy.
Cops often commit atrocious acts, hoping that they will get away with it. But sometimes karma catches up fast. Today we'll go through some of the most corrupt cops who faced instant karma and learned a swift lesson.
Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives will come and speak.
In June of 2024, First Amendment auditor was filming outside of a correctional facility in Trenton, New Jersey, when a police officer approached and attempted to intimidate him.
I don't have any answers for you. So I'm just. Excuse you? I'm on public property right now.
Excuse me?
I'm on public property right now.
Correct, but you're recording a correctional facility.
Is that illegal?
Can be. Harassment.
Recording's harassment?
Yes.
You can't turn a constitution protected activity into a crime.
Do you have ID on you, sir?
No, I haven't committed a crime.
I asked you what you're doing in front of the facility.
I'm taking pictures and video of matters of public interest.
What's that public interest?
That's all I'm going to say. Is that recording?
Sure is.
Excellent. Awesome.
The officer approached with a hostile demeanor, trying to intimidate the auditor and accusing him of harassment. However, harassment involves repeated behavior that annoys someone, which was not the case here.
Well, you're going to have to ask him to move along.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm on public property. Get a sergeant out here. Or a lieutenant. You give me illegal directives to leave. You know I'm on public property. There's utilities here. This is a public sidewalk, correct? So Ramos versus Flowers. I'm allowed to record police departments. Glick versus Cuniff. I can record anything out in public. Did you tell Google to stop taking pictures of their facility when they flew their satellites over? Or is it just me? So I'd like a sergeant out here.
Okay, no problem. I'll get one for you.
Excellent.
Suddenly, the cop's demeanor shifted when he realized that the auditor was well versed in the law. However, things were about to get even worse for these corrupt officers.
You do know
Right.
that it is posted no trespassing. So you,
But if it's a state facility, I'm still allowed in there because it's open to the public.
if they tell you,
That's not true.
it is true.
No, it's not.
If they tell you to leave,
That's so. If I go to the police department, you tell me to leave, and I stay there. If I'm not committing a crime, I'm allowed to stay there. That's the law. So as long if this is a public facility, even if they have no trespassing, it's still open to the public. Until I broke a law, I wouldn't be in violation of anything. I mean, I don't know why you give me illegal directives to leave.
I just asked you to. I didn't demand you leave. I asked you.
No, you're like, move along.
Would you like to move along? Yes.
Right, under color of law.
That's a request. That wasn't a demand.
Under color of law, you told me to move along.
That wasn't a direct order. That was a request.
Well, it's an unlawful order if it was. But you did it under color of law, correct?
The officers clearly lacked any knowledge of the law and couldn't even distinguish between public and private property. The auditor was ready to educate them even further. They had attempted to detain him earlier illegally, but realizing their sergeant was approaching, they then tried to backtrack, claiming they were only requesting him. However, the officers were about to violate even more policies.
Your name and badge number?
there you go. You want to record it with your phone?
No, why don't you just say it? Because I know that's your policy.
It is right there.
Say it. Say it. Name and badge number. Name and badge number, officer. All right. Name and badge number.
Officer Roller, 6635.
See how hard that is?
How are you, sir? How can I help you, sir?
How you doing, Sergeant? Name and badge number?
Welcome to Billy, Crown Police.
Do you have a badge number or no?
92.
92. Okay. So this officer here refused to identify himself verbally, so I'd like to file an IA on him. And he also told me to move along. Under color of law, it seems like that's a legal thing that he's telling me to do, and obviously I'm on public sidewalk, and it's not illegal to be on public sidewalk recording. So I'd like to file an IA on that gentleman there for those two incidents.
It is troubling how these corrupt officers still fail to understand citizens' First Amendment rights. Even more concerning, the sergeant tried to side with his rookie officers, ignoring the law.
Correctional facility, and they called because you were out.
Yeah, that's fine, but that still doesn't negate what he just did.
What did he do?
He told me to move along under color of law of a public sidewalk with, to me, the threat of arrest, even though he didn't say that. And then he refused to identify himself because he told me to move along.
Right on his thing.
I let him record my name.
That's not what your policy is. Your policy says you're supposed to identify yourself, not just by pointing at your titty and saying, here it is. You don't say that to a judge, right? Hey, judge, look at... And just... You still can't say his name and badge number. You did, he did, no problem. You know, ego's got to go.
The auditor filed a complaint against the officer right on the spot and further educated the officers on their legal obligation.
So exactly where's their property line at?
I'm actually trying to figure that out.
I don't have it mapped out. I'm
I
not
would
the,
have to go down to the city and get the lot.
And is there a way for you to find out if that's public property or not? If that's a public facility?
I don't know if anybody in the facility.
And this guy's demanding my ID and stuff like that. He's not a cop. Even you guys can't get my ID. I haven't broken a law.
The gentleman in there?
Yeah, the gentleman with the blue shirt on. And I haven't broken a law. You guys know that.
He's like, over here, I don't even think you did.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I totally agree with it. I mean, but telling me to move along.
I just asked you.
Yeah, but under color law, you're like, yeah, you need to move.
Both officers were left speechless and dismissed, but the auditor wasn't finished. He soon noticed another officer on the scene driving without a seatbelt, ready to call out yet another violation.
Name, badge number? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You guys, you have your seatbelt on? No? So we don't wear seatbelts? What are we doing in this town? So you guys don't have a policy to wear seatbelts either?
Have a good day, sir. All right.
No, I'm following an IA. So that officer right there doesn't have a seatbelt on. Sergeant. Excuse me, Sergeant.
I heard you. Have a good day. I heard you. 934.
All right, no problem. I'll do an IA on you. You just want to walk away? You got your officers here with no seatbelts on? You got officers here with no seatbelts on.
Have a good day.
So your policy is not to have seatbelts on? Huh?
Cops were destroyed like they have never been encountered before. They truly had no basis for their statements and were instantly owned and humbled. These cops were instantly owned, but you'll be surprised to see what happens with this next officer.
You didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. Thank you. All that's been recorded, right? That's my money.
On March 14th, 2024, Officer Henry Chapman responded to a traffic stop. The driver, Moncray Moon, was found to have an outstanding arrest warrant and then placed in handcuffs. But what happened next took a turn for the worse.
Sir, come on, step back here. Go ahead and place that call. Touch phone on the top of it.
What am I doing? I'm going to explain everything to you. That's why I'm having you out.
So you are under arrest at this time. You have a warrant out for your arrest. A warrant for what?
I'm going to show it to you in a moment, okay? Is this your car?
It's my girlfriend's car.
Your girlfriend's car. Can he drive it, the guy that's in the passenger seat?
Yes, sir.
Right here in the car here.
Step feet right just a little bit. Okay. I'll get this step out your way.
After Moncray was arrested, the officers discovered that he had $8,000 in cash. Instead of giving the money to Moncray's passenger, as protocol required, Officer Chapman decided to take it to the police station. That decision sparked a major issue.
What is that? I get cash. No, that's going with you. That's going to be with you. We're not giving that to anybody else. We got that off you, so it's staying with you, so you know we didn't take none, and nothing's going to be missing. All right, but I want this money. We'll put this in the bag for you, okay? Yeah, here. Here you go.
I got you.
Yeah, she's counting it right now.
You're gonna watch me, okay?
I heard the early man get shot.
Moncray made a wild accusation of Officer Chapman of stealing some of his money. When a female officer counted the cash before him, the amount seemed off, further fueling his suspicions.
Hold out. Took it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Question you.
Let me count it first.
No, can you look in between his legs real quick? I think he just put some more money in between his legs. I'm sorry.
How much money did you have on you? I'm asking.
I haven't touched it. Can you just check in between his legs?
Sir, listen to me.
He's moving and everything. Look, he's moving.
Sir.
I'm good.
Sir, listen to me. Tell me how much cash you had on you. What was the amount?
I just want to see. I'm not gonna lie. Can you check? I'm not going nowhere. Can you check your fellow officer for me, please? We're good. We're good. Hell no. He just touched my. I heard the rubber band pop. He told me, oh, I had to look. And he's moving. He's moving in between his legs.
Sir, stand right there.
I'm gonna stand right here, but can y'all please check y'all fellow officer? Please. What's going on? Look, he's moving his arm right now.
How much cash did you have on you?
Can you check your hands?
I didn't.
Can you check your people? Because he's touching. Yeah. What's
Tell
going
me
on?
what's the total value?
Officer Chapman's nervous demeanor said it all. His visible unease and silence only strengthened Moncre's claims. More officers arrived. Chapman's fraud was about to be exposed.
Right in his right hand.
Tell me how much money you
He's
had
tucking
on you.
money. He's tucking my money. That's a problem. Can y'all check him?
Hey,
Listen to me. Listen.
Look at him moving. He's moving. Oh my God. Y'all not gonna check him?
Listen.
Look
Chill
at
out.
him.
listen. Come on.
I've been
Let me
cooperating
tell
with
you
you guys the whole time. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna allow anybody to take your money.
Look at him. He's moving.
But look at me.
Look at.
No one's gonna take your money. I can see his hands. I can see exactly what he's doing. No one's gonna take your money. She's gonna count your money. There's more money.
Watch him touch my money. And you
There's
guys
more money in
took
here.
it.
You're saying that there's more money in here?
But what I'm saying is
Let me ask you a question. Answer my question. Are you saying that there's more money in here?
what I'm saying is he just touched my money and went through 3 different floor compartments, and I seen him put it in between his legs. I heard my rubber band.
Moncre claimed that he heard his rubber band pop, which was enough evidence to claim that the officer was a thief. The supervisor then removed Chapman from his vehicle as tensions escalated further.
I'm saying, but he already moved and did a lot of different stuff.
Okay, come sit over here.
But y'all already let him move. Like, there's no way. Like, watch. That's crazy. I can't believe y'all just did me like this. I tried to give her the money. He said, don't give it to her.
Okay.
Because I went to Wendy's. I got a Wendy's receipt right.
But do you know how much cash you had on you? So I can count it out so we can verify the total. Do you know approximately how much you had on you?
I heard my rubber band being popped.
I just grabbed it from the seat to give to her.
That's not what you just told me either, boss.
I did. That's what I did. And I handed her the
I'm not gonna lie, boss.
envelope.
Have I gave you any problems?
No, sir, you have not.
That's all I wanted to ask, sir. I just don't understand why y'all couldn't. Like, I'm not going. I sit on my face. I'm not going nowhere. I just wanted
I'm
to.
asking you what your total was so we can count it out.
Now, this was a serious allegation against a law enforcement officer. And while it might seem unlikely for a cop to steal money, Moncre stood his ground and refused to leave until a thorough investigation was conducted.
I watched him tear up. I watched him look at you and tell him, like, look at you and tell you, no, you're not about to. I just watched him do way too much when I haven't been nothing but nice and compliant to you guys. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to go along with you guys' protocols and everything. All I've done was ask questions so I know how, like, to make sure I'm safe and my family can find me and stuff. And you guys' body cam is on, like I know.
Mine is on right now.
But I know for a fact what I seen and what I heard. And then when I asked him why was he like popping the rubber band on the money, he said I was just making sure something, but there's no need to make sure, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that's my property, you feel what I'm saying? And I know for a fact the money was touched, but it's a million compartments.
Yes, I did touch it when I grabbed it out of the seat.
I understand, so I don't want to argue with you, Mr. Chapman. I just know what
No, sir.
Okay, so what I typically do is count out everybody's
You can
money
count it
in
again,
front
but
of
I'm not
them
gonna lie
so
to
you can
you.
see that it's accurate.
The money was altered
So
before.
when I turn it over to property, you can verify that the total we're counting out now is the total that you're going to get back. Okay? Are you good with me doing that right now?
Despite the odds, Moncre's claims carried some weight. It seemed Officer Chapman had chosen the wrong person to mess with.
Miss Casperson, I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just know what I know, you know what I'm saying? I know, I heard the rubber band pop. I seen him fiddling. He did not just keep his hands up the whole time. Like no, I didn't. He didn't open the door and say, you can search me. Look, you know what I'm saying? I heard my money. I'm a very great businessman. I just paid bills a couple days ago, you know what I'm saying? I just know for a fact that he touched my money. And then he was adamant about not giving my money to my wife or the cameraman that was with me, you feel what I'm saying? He was just like, no, you're gonna keep your money on you, which wasn't a problem, you feel what I'm saying? But him touching the money prior to just putting it in I've been listening the whole time. He asked for a small envelope. He didn't put the money in there then.
Disregarding Moncre's claims, the female officer then counted the money and placed it in an envelope as evidence. Shortly after, Chapman began attempting to prove his innocence, a move that came across as suspicious. The suspect refused to let the matter go, prompting the sergeant to search Officer Chapman's vehicle.
Anything is on him,
Look, sir.
it would be in big. No, I don't.
Look, I'm gonna show you right here. Look at me. Look at me.
All of you guys probably have kids out there, you know what I'm saying?
Look.
So look, this is all I want to explain to you guys. Most of the time, when somebody knows when somebody knows for a fact they didn't do anything, they're not finna just, you feel what I'm saying, like let you search them. And I don't have kids, you feel what I'm saying? But I know how that goes because my mom did foster care. So I'm like up to par with all of that. You And on top of that, if I didn't do anything, like how me and you've been talking the whole time,
Yes,
just
sir.
like how me and you was talking the whole time, if I didn't do anything, I have nothing that I'm worried about. You feel me?
I want you to feel
Comfortable. I would have
Yes.
felt.
Yes, sir.
I would have felt comfortable if your colleagues would have searched you at the exact time where I knew where the money was, because I seen you kept going in between your legs, and then every time everybody put all of the attention on me, you kept moving. I don't know if it's in your door. I don't know where it's at, but just like, look, I don't even care to find the money, but how you know how you.
What they uncovered would become the ultimate karma moment for Chapman.
No, show you.
I want you to hold me though, so you know that.
Okay. Do you see anything?
No, yeah, no cap. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's blue hundreds right here. It's all the blue hundreds are right there behind that receipt. Thank you. All that's my money. He didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. Thank you. All that's been
That ain't my
recorded,
money.
right? That's my money. That's my money right there.
Sir, you've been watching me that whole time.
I seen you take it. I seen you crumble
Sir,
it up. Just
that
count
is
it.
not me.
If I'm right, it's gonna be around $1,000. If I'm right, and like I told you, I just went to Wendy's. I seen you still. Thank you.
No, sir.
If you don't mind, I just want to sit down so y'all don't try to say I'm resistant. I don't want to do nothing. All I know for a fact is I know what I know and I've seen it. I just wanted you guys to trust me, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was just acting a little irate, but I'm perfectly fine, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to expose you.
That is not me, bud.
Brother, I just seen you steal my money. It was no reason for you to pop my rubber band, brother. It was no reason for you to pop my rubber band off my money.
It turned out Moncray was right all along. Officer Chapman had indeed stolen the money, and he was brutally exposed in front of his colleagues who could do nothing but hang their heads in shame.
Mr. Chapman went in my money. He separated my money. He was trying to steal it, and I caught him. He put it in between his legs, and as his colleagues approached me, he worked it towards the door. He tried to make it seem like I was lying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in full custody of these officers. I'm being detained. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want any problems. I'm not armed. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just pulled over for a traffic stop. He just tried to steal some of my money.
Okay, we're hearing you, but there's no need to say all of
No,
that.
I was just looking at the camera. No, I just know how it goes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to cause.
My camera's on the entire
Yes, ma'am.
time.
So what are we gonna do about this problem? Because he just tried to steal some of my money.
sir,
And I'm
I
not
did
trying
not.
to put any allegations on him. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not using my words like to try to hurt anybody. I just know what I know. You his sergeant.
Yes, he is my sergeant.
Sir, I have 20/20 and I can read. I remember when you called him out. I could tell you everything he said to you. Perfect timing. This was perfect. Perfect that you called me out this time because you didn't know the protocol to how a federal warrant was supposed to be taken care of. Correct or incorrect?
That's correct. That's just why I called him out to
But
ask.
you just separate. Whoa, so what was the purpose of you separating my money while you gave her money while you just watched her count my money out in full? Because you just wasted you wasted an evidence folder.
Moncray, sharp and persistent, reportedly urged the cops to take action against the thieving officer. Soon after, he was escorted to jail, and things were only about to get much worse for him from there.
When she asked me, then I would have been like ridiculed or foreseen as a liar or something. That's why I didn't answer your question, ma'am, because I said that I had just went to Wendy's. I believe that's my receipt. I only ordered a 10-piece nugget and I ordered like a fry and something to drink, so I didn't know the actual amount of the money. All I know is when my girlfriend got off work at 5 o'clock, I was supposed to give her that money for the rest of the bills, and she was going to get her car back. I was in a car this week. That's why I wasn't in my own car, man. That was my girlfriend's car, Diamond Alexander. That's why when you initially pulled me over, and y'all probably have my phones, you can see the call record. I called her at like 4 or something to let her know, babe, I'm being pulled over in your car. In my eyes, I thought it was gonna be for the T-tag, the temporary tag thing, the sticker, but like
It was initially just for your speed, I promise you that. Captain, his ID is on the dashboard up there.
Okay.
Do you mind putting it in my evidence file? Can I get like y'all names wrote down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
In a matter of seconds, Officer Chapman was the one who was under investigation. He was escorted into the police station and immediately began being questioned.
So like this is what's going to happen, all right? We have people coming in. Obviously, they have to talk to you, all right? So I want to hold on to your weapon right quick, okay?
Yep. Go ahead. Just take the whole holster off. It's one of them.
QLS.
I got it.
Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives will come and speak to you, all right?
Anything, man? No. Just want to say I'm sorry. I got you, brother.
Well, we're gonna walk out of here and
close the door, okay?
After an investigation, Chapman. Next, we have this corrupt sheriff who got his karma in the courtroom.
I feel like I'm being very much bullied into doing something that's not right. And I want this court to know that Todd Pate holds himself responsible for everything that he did.
Police officers often face the heat of justice in courtrooms, and today we will be looking at some of the best moments when corrupt cops were held accountable by some honest judges. We begin with former Breckinridge County Sheriff Todd Pate, who is far from a typical defendant. He is facing charges of assault, second offense DUI, criminal mischief, and leaving the scene of an accident.
This time, is it your desire to change your plea from not guilty to guilty?
Do I have to answer that yes or no, or can I make somewhat of a statement?
That is a yes or no answer, sir.
Will I have the opportunity to say anything further?
If it is your intention to change your plea from not guilty to guilty, certainly you'll have an opportunity to make any statement. But if it is not your intent to enter a guilty plea at this time, then I'm going to set your case for jury trial, and you're going to stop wasting my time and everybody else's time this afternoon.
Ma'am, I'm not trying to waste your time.
Then is it your intention to enter a guilty plea at this time or not, sir?
No. Why am I wasting your time?
4 people were hurt in an accident that Todd allegedly caused while driving a car. Shockingly, he fled the scene. When arrested, his blood alcohol was nearly twice the legal limit.
Why am I wasting your time?
Mr. Chambers, what is the Commonwealth's position at this time, sir?
Your Honor, we would move to revoke the defendant's bond at this time.
Let's get back on the record and see if we can sort this out. At this point in time, what is Mr. Pate's decision with respect to his guilty pleas?
So I believe I'll just let him answer that question if it pleases the court.
All right. So, Mr. Pate?
Can I say a few things, or?
I need to understand what it is that we're doing here today, Mr. Pate.
Yes, I had every intention of coming in here today and entering a guilty plea. It's difficult for me to enter a guilty plea for a lot of reasons, and I don't want this court to think that I am trying to minimize any responsibility that I had in this situation that occurred.
The controversy deepened as he disputes the assault charge, thinking it was added solely because of his role as a sheriff and his decision to reject a plea deal offered by the prosecutor.
Like I'm being very much bullied into doing something that's not right. And I want this court to know that Todd Pate holds himself responsible for everything that he did. It's hard for me to lay down and plead to felony charges that don't apply.
Is it your intention today to enter this guilty plea?
And if I could address...
This is either a yes or no. Are you going to enter your plea or not?
I guess everybody thinks it's funny.
With credit for time previously served, he eventually entered a guilty plea and accepted a sentence of 75 days in county jail. Now, this case was intense, but the next courtroom showdown will leave you questioning everything.
We've got a complaint of you out here holding up profanities. Okay. I'm not going to tell you again. You have your ID on you? I don't have my ID. Put your hands right here.
In December of 2018, a YouTuber named Otto the Watchdog held several signs while standing on public land. As cars drove by, many waved and honked in support. What started as a peaceful demonstration was about to take a dramatic turn.
Sheriff's Office dispatch.
Hi, there's some people out here at Interstate 30 and South Elm that have some very offensive signs.
Officer Johnny Clark led the Royse City Police Department's response to Otto's location, as officers from the department were dispatched to the scene.
Where's Johnny with the other one?
Should be right over here. Thank you. Yes. Some guy holding up a sign that says shit is up and stuff or something.
Still in office.
How are you?
Well, I was doing just fine until just a minute ago. I already heard you say a cuss word once. So.
What do your other signs say, sir? Sir, what do your other signs say?
What am I doing?
Okay, can I see your other signs?
No, leave my seat away.
Sir, we've got a complaint of you out here holding up profanities.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't let me look at your sign, I'll take you in custody for disorderly conduct.
I'm not being disorderly.
Otto was soon approached by officers who confronted him about his sign. Sergeant Dial was clearly displeased with Otto's firm refusal to consent to search or seize his property despite their demands.
I'm not being disorderly.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you again. All right?
I don't consent to any searches or seizures.
Okay. This is offensive to people that are driving by and families that are driving by. Yes. Yes, it's disorderly conduct.
What's the penal code?
It's disorderly conduct.
Can you read that to me?
It's disorderly conduct. You have your ID on you?
No.
Okay. Now you're filling the ID.
I don't have
Put your hands right here.
The tension reached a boiling point when the senior officer angrily punched auto signs out of his hands. Everyone was shocked by the aggression, even Officer Clark.
Roll over. Since he's failing the ID, take him to jail for disorderly conduct. When we're here answering a complaint and you refuse to identify yourself, that is a crime. When you're displaying these signs and people are calling because it's offensive to them, that is another crime. So yes, you have committed a crime. You've committed two.
You didn't warn me.
We don't have to warn you. Ignorance of the law. I asked you politely to see your signs and you said
I
no.
don't consent to any searches or seizures of my property or my person.
I'm not going to take it.
In a powerful act of passive resistance, Otto laid down on the ground, showing that the arrest was unlawful. His message was clear, that he wouldn't resist, but wouldn't comply either.
Is that your cell phone and tripod? If it's not, I'm going to leave it sitting here. If it is, I'm going to take it and put it up so somebody doesn't steal it. But if you want to act this way, I'll leave it sitting here and let somebody steal it.
Why would you do that?
Okay. We don't know whose stuff that is either.
I have a question. What am I being arrested for?
The officer just explained
Now's not the time to ask questions.
Oh, it is the time to ask questions.
You know what?
Nobody even asked me to identify. All he did is ask me if I had ID, and I don't have ID.
Let me explain something to you, young man. We're not holding court on the side of the road with you. Okay?
Well, you're arresting me.
We're not holding court with you.
I just want to know why I have handcuffs.
Any questions you have, you can ask the jail or you can ask the court.
You gonna get up?
I can't.
Okay. Roll back over and I'll help you up.
I'm not sure if I can do that either. I would like to see your supervisor right now before you assault me any further. I am being assaulted. I have not committed a crime.
When the officer threatened to leave Otto's camera at the scene for anybody to take, he then worsened the situation.
I have not committed a crime.
Get up.
I have not committed a crime. I can't get up. You're hurting me. You are hurting me.
Then get up.
I cannot get
then
up
get
like
up.
this. I can't get up like this.
They lift you up.
I'm trying to get up. Matt, please.
Get up.
Well, assist me up instead of trying to.
We're trying to help you up.
Lift you up.
I'm not trying to be an ass.
Yes.
No, what
I've seen the game before. Roll up to your knees and they will assist you up.
Roll up to my knees. I'm a fat man.
Okay.
Help me to my knees.
We already have one.
Well, help me again.
Now they'll lift you straight on your feet. Stand up.
Okay, help me up. I have committed no crime. I have committed no crime whatsoever. Get my equipment.
That's not yours. Remember, I asked you earlier. Come on.
So you're gonna leave my shit on the side of the road. Get my equipment. Get my equipment. You dude, I'm asking for you to get my. Hey, I've committed no crime.
Unlock your car,
no
please.
crime.
I want to turn this phone off.
I ain't turning nothing off. I'm gonna leave it right like that. Put it in evidence.
According to the Texas Penal Code, people are not required to identify themselves until they are under arrest, despite the officer's claims that Otto was held for failing to identify himself.
I asked him if it was his. He didn't want to talk.
I heard it on.
Yeah.
Okay. You know where his car is.
Somewhere up there. If I had to bet.
Still under arrest for failed ID.
I was under arrest, and then I ID, as the code says.
No, the code says when you're legally detained, you're required to ID yourself. You did not.
It specifically says arrested. I didn't do nothing.
What's your phone number?
I didn't do nothing.
In response to this injustice, Otto sued Officer Short and Sergeant Dial, claiming they had violated his First Amendment rights and engaged in malicious prosecution. Otto's attorney expertly undermined the sergeant's case throughout the deposition, leaving him completely vulnerable and unable to justify his conduct.
As I explained earlier, one, it was an officer safety issue because I don't know what the signs are made out of or what they were. And they could be used as a weapon. And secondly, we were still investigating whether a crime had been committed, and he was unwilling to show us what the other two signs or what the sign says other than what we could see.
Did you believe that Mr. Knowles had an obligation to give you those signs?
What do you mean, an obligation?
Did you have the right to see those signs?
Well, it's part of our investigation.
Did Mr. Knowles have the right to refuse showing you the signs?
Well, anybody can refuse anything. Objection form.
Why did you hit the sign so hard?
Objection form.
Sergeant Dial should have a firm grasp of the law after 11 years on the police force, yet his ignorance was clearly evident throughout the deposition.
I don't know what your definition of hard and soft is, and that was 5 years ago.
How do you define hard and soft? You can use your own definition, please.
In regards to what?
The level of force that you applied to the signs.
I mean, I don't know how I would describe hitting a sign soft or hard.
Why didn't you use less force when touching the signs?
Objection. I didn't know I used too much force.
Could you have used less force when touching the signs?
Objection form. In regards to what? I mean, what was the amount of force that I used?
You said earlier that you conducted an investigation after you arrived on the scene that day with Knowles. What were the results of that investigation?
In regards to what?
In addition to violating Otto's rights under the 1st, 4th, and 14th Amendments, Sergeant Dial's utter lack of understanding about disorderly conduct laws was painfully clear.
Did you find anything during your investigation that caused you to arrest Knowles, that caused anyone to arrest Knowles?
Through our investigation, we determined that disorderly conduct had been committed.
How did disorderly conduct get committed?
Due to the verbiage that was on the signs, and we had received complaints.
His ignorance was a clear sign that he was completely unfit for the job.
If you received the same complaints and those signs had said something different, would Knowles have been arrested?
The same complaints in what? Because the complaint we had was, it was vulgar and offensive.
What I'm asking you is, if the complaints were the same, but the contents of the signs were different, would Knowles have been arrested?
Objection form.
What if the sign said Blue Lives Matter?
How is Blue Lives? There's nothing vulgar about Blue Lives Matter. There's no profanity in Blue Lives Matter.
Are you saying that if the sign said Blue Lives Matter, Knowles would not have been arrested?
I'm telling you that based on the complaints that we received that day, a guy telling me that he was offended by the profanity and vulgar that was being used in the signs.
Objection, non-responsive.
Sergeant Dial said the arrest was initiated because the sign hurt someone, although he could not name any laws that Otto had broken. It is clear he needs to read up on the Constitution before making any more decision.
If the complaints were the same, but the sign said Blue Lives Matter, would Knowles have been arrested that day?
Objection, son. There's no vulgar or profanity in in the verb or term, the verbiage or term Blue Lives Matter.
Do you think anyone that says a bad word publicly should be arrested?
No.
Why not?
Did someone complain on them, or they just out there just throwing a fit? No complaints. I mean, there's several reasons why we would not arrest someone. I mean, if nobody finds it offensive, then disorderly conduct's not met.
So if the language on the signs had not offended someone, Knowles would have been arrested, or would he not have been arrested?
So you're telling me we didn't receive any calls and nobody complained to us? Would we have arrested Knowles that day?
Correct.
No, we wouldn't not have.
During the deposition, the lawyer took over the situation by interrogating Sergeant Dial incessantly. However, the true surprise was still to come.
What specifically did Clark say to you about Knowles' prior disorderly conduct?
He was explaining it to Knowles that as I'm walking up, he's explaining it to him that look, I've already heard you out here cussing at people.
So he was talking to Knowles, not you.
That is correct.
Did any motorists complain about the prior alleged profanities that Knowles said before you arrived?
Well, the one gentleman told me about the signs, and regarding what the people on 911 called in about, I do not recall that.
If anyone complained about verbal language and you didn't hear any allegedly profane verbal language from Knowles at the scene?
I did not hear it, but I heard Clark explaining to Knowles that he has already witnessed it or observed it himself.
As he prepared to ask the last question, the attorney knew it would leave the officer completely speechless, and it did.
Do you know one word of profanity that Knowles said?
No, I do not.
And you are not aware of any person that was offended by what Knowles said?
No.
When the sergeant unintentionally acknowledged that the arrest was based only on the placard's content, he immediately exposed the constitutional rights infringement and dug his own grave.
Were you offended by the contents of his signs?
No.
Why did you think they were offensive?
The sergeant's errors mounted as the attorney focused on the First Amendment infringement, underscoring his total ignorance of the law.
So you would arrest somebody if a citizen complained about vulgarities?
Objection, phone. So a citizen made the police department or dispatch aware that they had used profanities and vulgarities and were offended. Would I arrest someone?
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Have you arrested more than 5 people in your career?
I believe that would be an accurate statement.
Have you observed more than 10 arrests in your career?
I'd probably say I have observed more than 10 arrests in my career.
It is startling that a 10-year police veteran was unaware of the First Amendment. This then calls into question the caliber of law enforcement training. What sort of personnel are we teaching to serve and defend?
Have you observed more than 25?
That I don't know.
Have you observed more than 30 arrests in your career?
I don't know.
Do you remember any specific details about your training regarding First Amendment rights?
No, I do not.
Are you saying that you don't remember one word from your training regarding First Amendment rights?
Objection. That is correct. We went over the elements of the Constitution, and I believe the First Amendment is part of the Constitution.
But specifically the First Amendment, you don't remember?
Correct.
Do you remember how long you spent studying constitutional rights?
No, I do not.
Have you had any training related to constitutional rights since you became an officer?
I do not recall.
It is baffling that someone in such a high-ranking position could exhibit such a glaring lack of knowledge. How can we trust officers with such critical authority when they don't even understand the basics of the Constitution?
What topics have you been trained on since you became an officer?
I don't recall all of them.
Name one.
Accident investigation.
Anything else?
Well, I'm sure there's others.
Where did you receive the training regarding constitutional rights in 2007?
When I was in the police academy, is that what you're referring to?
I'm referring to the training that you referred to, that you received in 2007 regarding First Amendment rights.
The Collin County College Police Academy.
And who trained you in constitutional rights?
Could not tell you.
Because you don't remember?
You're asking for the instructor's name? No, I do not remember the instructor's name.
This is the result of insufficient instruction on the First Amendment and fundamental right.
Do you remember anything about the protections provided to citizens by the First Amendment?
No, I do not.
Are you aware that the First Amendment gives citizens what's known as the freedom of speech? Have you heard of the freedom of speech?
I have.
What do you think that means?
Interpretations are a dime a dozen, but basically someone can speak freely.
Following the deposition, the city was compelled to settle, and Otto was given $25,000.
First Amendment protect a person from being arrested because of what they say.
Objection form calls for legal conclusion.
Do I answer it?
Answer.
I think at times it may.
Has the police department provided you with any subsequent training on constitutional rights since you've been an active officer?
I do not recall.
Have you received any training, guidance, or instruction regarding First Amendment rights while you've been a police officer?
Objection form.
In the police academy, I know we went over the constitutional rights.
But anything since then?
I do not recall.
The sergeant was promoted to lieutenant and suffered no repercussions for his startling ignorance of the law. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today we saw how corrupt cops were instantly owned in the courtroom, facing justice for their wrongdoing. It is a reminder that no one is above the law, not even those who are sworn to enforce it. The courtroom exposed their actions for what they were, and it is clear that accountability is crucial in maintaining trust in our law enforcement. If you agree, please support us by liking this video. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out how these evil parents were sent to jail with the help of their kid.
And if they don't, then it's their fault that the child is acting like us, which is what he's doing.